Jordan Peterson suggests one clean their room. It's something within your direct control where you can effect change to your heart's delight. You clean up your life before you go out and attempt to change systems far more complicated than the piles of ketchup-stained clothes and empty yogurt containers lying about your floor. Seeking purification for another while you're psychologically rotting will lead merely to an external replication of your internal mess. Sadly, today's increasingly rare voices of personal responsibility are drowned out by the cacophony of outrage and the shrieks of victimhood amplified by social and mainstream media. Besides, who are you to judge the cleanliness of my room? Who says your paradigm is the only way, or even right? Just because your strategies might have, in your mind, worked for eons, doesn't mean I can't reinvent the wheels directing the chariot of civilization. Step one is to give my reality of the world gravitational mass by aligning with like-minded people who agree that the laws of physics can be upended. Imagine a bunch of slobs holding a seance, clasping hands together, chanting, conjuring a politically correct spirit, proclaiming your room righteously clean, and that it's okay to love it exactly the way it is, absolving you of all responsibility. Yes, sweet peaceful spirit, yes. Better, there are no dissenting voices within your echo chamber to scramble the woke spell cast over the dying embers of your rational consciousness. It's why the morbidly obese seek each other's company to celebrate their ever-growing brave expressions of individuality.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
The challenge is, until we become fully immersed into the matrix, contradictory voices will still occasionally assault your well-being. I speak of those lurid souls who will come into your psychological residence and diagnose your hoarder reality as unhealthy for your well-being and that of anyone around you. Triggering. And then you'll feel the worst emotion of all. Not sadness, not anger, not grief, but shame. Shame! What right do they have to make you feel shame? They'll even have the audacity to point out that someone might use the reality check as motivation to change course, and that this is in fact a choice as to how one reacts. That's because they are right-wing, uncaring, hate-filled Nazis like Jordan Peterson with Ben Shapiro. So what if he wears a yarmulke? We all know what he really is. They champion free speech. But let's say someone points out
it's an absolute catastrophe that 2/3 to 3/4 of Black kids are being raised in a home without a father present in the home. In terms of the social cohesion of the community, people don't want to say that.
They have zero right to call that out. After all, speech which shames is hateful, and hate speech is not free speech. Silence the dissenting voices. We have work to do. Start recruiting allies with the goal of becoming a gravitational mass so large that, like a black hole, you bend light and eviscerate the enjoyment of living. Not unlike ISIS. Side bet, what percentage of woke people would identify Israel as an entity of greater evil than ISIS? And would that number increase if you got them all in a room and they'd have to condemn something Islamic in front of each other? Back to our regularly scheduled program of cleaning up the world to our standards. The good news is that people can get used to anything, whether that's a slovenly bedroom or living under threat of dire consequences for expressing a thought that crosses the ever-advancing line of puritanical woke orthodoxy. It also helps to have people in positions of power who overtly side with you, like all the DAs in Portland, Seattle, and LA, as well as the mayors of those cities, who will not prosecute you when your actions technically cross the legal line. We are feverishly working hard to push back. like the shoplifting laws, where anything stolen under $900 will not be prosecuted, decimating all the retail businesses in those jurisdictions. Better yet is someone like Kim Gardner in St. Louis, who will prosecute citizens who stand up for themselves, like the McCloskeys, as a warning to others who get the smart idea of defying you. And you do this slowly and gradually, with the help of the DAs, the mayors, the social media giants, the censorship of contrary thought, the shutting down of all businesses forever due to a very bad flu or COVID, getting people used to being reliant on the government dole. The goal is to bring society to a slow boil. Remember that. And in the meantime, you want to change the language, like Big Brother's party did so successfully in George Orwell's 1984, so that what might be considered today to be a dirty room by the unenlightened can be reclassified as clean. And then, when the public is finally ready, you can insist that dirty is clean, that war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and slowly they'll believe you, follow you, and you'll compel the populace to comply with all of your other edicts. Or maybe, just maybe, you can try cleaning your room, gain some momentum, and see what other positive steps you can take for yourself and for others. It seems like a lot less work and likely better for the world. We are at an inflection point. I have no spooky seance to offer you, only common sense and logic. Please, consciously, choose your side. I really would like to request that if you enjoy this video, not only that you hit the like button, that you also share it with somebody who would appreciate it. It's very hard to overcome YouTube's algorithm in any other way.